Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report. I'm Kevin Freeman. We're joined now by head volleyball coach Jeff Billington. Coach, welcome to the program.
Good to be here, Kevin.
Let's talk about the volleyball team. You're 8-7 currently. You're about halfway through the regular season. Give us an assessment of the team at this point, their performance.
I think that at this point that we're right where we need to be. We usually take the first couple of weeks of our preseason and in the beginning of the season when we go to tournaments to kind of get a gauge of where we are, put different rotations in and try to start figuring out where we're at from that standpoint. And now that we started conference play, that we've got a good idea where we have to be and what rotations to put out there.
So what are you happy with at this point, and what do you think there still needs to be a little bit of improvement on with your team?
Well, volleyball is an interesting sport because it's a lot of technical and a lot of tactical stuff, and every day you always you go into practice with an idea of after you looked at your matches and from the weekend before, it's like, okay, well, we need to work on this a little bit more. We need to work on that. So it's always in flux, I think. But normally ball control. That's the key. That allows us to be able to do everything else that we need to do offensively. So passing, playing good defense, and being able to get to a little bit better, I think, at attacking.
Well, you started off the season with 13 consecutive road matches. What kind of effect mentally does this have on a team? Do they get a little road weary, you think?
Yeah, I think for the returners, it's they're used to this because we do this pretty much every year. We'll go away and play in several different tournaments in the beginning of the season. Allows us to get some experience, play out of region competition. So they're used to it. Now for the freshmen, this is a completely different ball game for them. It's they're not used to traveling, staying overnight, sleeping in hotels. We have 3 or 4 in a room together. It's exciting. It's great for team building and team bonding. But I think for the returners, they can deal with it pretty well. For the newcomers, it can be pretty difficult.
I assume
sometimes.
They were pretty happy to finally play.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And plus, play in front of their friends. Here at school.
You mentioned this a little bit, but do you think the heavy tournament schedule has prepared you pretty well for conference play?
Yeah, I mean, we played some national caliber teams down in Florida a couple weekends ago. We didn't go too far away. We played down in Francis Marion for the opening weekend. But the whole thing about playing in the tournaments is to give everybody an opportunity to see what we have, to really figure out, okay, who's consistent, who's going to contribute, who still needs some work. And then, we watch film and we're able to put together an idea of, okay, who's going to be our most consistent players out there in the field and start to gel the team. And I think we were able to accomplish that.
So your rotations are probably considerably heavier during the tournaments then, so you can see.
Yeah, and that's kind of the reason for some of the inconsistent play that we had in the beginning, too.
Right, yeah, you mentioned that. Are they starting to gel now, do you think?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
We come off a really pretty good weekend, so. Yes. Absolutely.
Well, let's talk about that weekend. Yeah. You had 2 very good wins, both straight set wins over Peach Belt foes. You beat USC Aiken 3-0, and then you beat Lander 3-0 as well. You're on top of the Peach Belt standings 2-0. I know it's a long season, but how important is it to start strong in conference play?
Every conference match is difficult. We're lucky that we opened up at home. We have a group that likes to play at home. Sometimes, some years it's not the case. Some of them get a little nervous playing at home, but they handled it. We were very composed. I thought we played really well on Friday night. It was an exciting match. We had a good turnout with fans. Saturday, it's hard to put the back together, matches and play consistent. We did enough to win. I don't think we played as well, but all in all, I'm very pleased with how things went. And you can't be in 2-0 in the conferences. We'll take it.
Absolutely, absolutely. The team's front row, I think, did a very good job blocking at the net this weekend. What's the key? Tell me to being a good blocker.
Blocking takes, and here's the thing about blocking, is a lot of high school athletes prior to coming into college are not taught how to block properly. And then a lot of it has to do with eye work and just understanding. We have a concept called ball setter, ball hitter, and just understanding the relationship of the pass when it gets to the setter, and to be able to see both the set ball as well as the attacker coming to attack the ball. So, that's hard to teach. And I try to tell them it's like a still frame picture. Getting your hands up over the net, seeing the ball and the attacker attacking it at the same time and have it in a freeze frame.
Right. How important is height in blocking?
Well, the taller you are, the higher your hands can be, and it should be easier, but not necessarily, because sometimes it matters how fast you can get off the floor in relationship to the person attacking on the other side. I mean, if they're tall, you're tall, you jump similar, the timing should be pretty good. But if they're shorter, they could get off the floor faster, and you can get off the floor slower. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes into play there.
A lot of variables.
A lot of
about
variables,
timing.
yes, absolutely.
Okay, well, we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little more to Coach Billington about the upcoming schedule, so stay tuned.